My apologies for being late with your Tuesday video report. I'll get to your free pick on Western Michigan and Kent State in just a moment. Tuesday morning is when Steve and I always do our filming of our weekly Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. And we did it today, and a couple hours later, I'm already doing all my other work, handicapping here at the site, setting up the sites, etc., doing all my normal everyday jobs, and get a call from our video guy, and he says, we got a little problem. I'm going, well, what's a little problem? He says, well, it's little more than a little problem. Well, at this point, I know this is now not a little problem, and it's a little more than a little problem. This is a major problem. So cut to the chase. The chase was at the 13-minute mark of a 28-minute video, the audio dropped out. Well, it's not like you can go back and re-record the audio, so we had to go back and re-record the entire show, which means I had to go track down Steve, had to go put on my war paint, my makeup all over again, which is just great, because as it is, after every time I wear this makeup, my face breaks out like a 12-year-old going through puberty, so I'm sure tomorrow it'll be awfully, awfully bad, and then redo the show again. Now, the funny thing is that when Steve and I do these shows, we have no idea what we're going to say going into the shows. I don't know what games he's on. I don't know what he's going to say. I mean, we have a lineup of the games that we're going to do. And we never want to know what it is because we kind of find it cool to have no idea until the camera light goes on whose side we're going to be on in each game and stuff like that. So today was kind of unique because I knew exactly what the game he was going to be on and what side it was because we had to do it a second time around. And yet the show actually came out better, I think, the second time because it was almost like a rehearsed show. Definitely different. We've never actually done it that way before. And let me tell you, after 10 years of doing these shows, let me say that I never want to really have to go ahead and redo a second show and reshoot it again because it's a real pain in the ass. Last night, Seattle and Buffalo, very interesting game. You look at that particular game, and that was definitely a case where it goes against my 99.9% rule, which is generally you play the favorites early and you play the underdogs late. You see this often happen when a line is 7. If you saw that game early in the morning yesterday, that line was sitting at 7, but it already moved down to 6.5 because the public money had come in, rolling in on Buffalo. And when you see that type of line move, when you're on the favorite, you've got to be patient. Because generally, when you see that line move from 7 to 6.5 that early on a Monday night game, you know more money is going to roll in on Buffalo, and that's exactly what happened because by 1:30, that line then moved down to 6. Now, the patience got you down to 6, and that got you the push. Now, if you happen to be on Buffalo, however, well, that immediate line move down from 7 to 6.5 was your buy sign. That means that 99% of the time when I tell you that as a dog player, you should wait, well, that means that buy sign was that 1% exception. You had to get down earlier. And in that particular case, it would have been wise for you to go ahead not only to buy at 6.5, but to go ahead and buy maybe up to the half point if you were at 6 or 6.5 to ensure that you got the win. Again, there is an exception to every rule. 99.9% of the time, you buy buy early on the favorites and you buy late on the underdogs. But you have to be cognizant of what's going on and what the public money is doing. And you will see it most often on that number 7. You will not see it that often on lines that are 3, 3.5, and 4. But that 7 number, it's almost like the line maker is putting it out there and he's letting the public dictate where that number is going to go. You see it all the time. It's just something you have to be aware of. Listen, the big play tonight, of course, is Chris Jordan going for the guaranteed play. Raised the bar, 1,500-star MAC Game of the Year winner, number 4 out of 5. Normally, a 1,000-star play is his top-rated selection. He hit 3 out of 4 1,500-star MAC plays last week. We call him Mac Daddy now. And he has another one going tonight. It's guaranteed Western Michigan, Kent State. It must win or tomorrow. You get his one and only double your wager, 2,000-star play, his MAC Game of the Year. Tomorrow, absolutely free should this lose. All your other discounts, promos are over on the homepage. Let's talk about that Western Michigan game. Listen, the Broncos are 14-3 against the spread. Their last 17 on the road, including a 5-0 sweep this year. Now, I used Western Michigan as my best bet last Tuesday night, and they delivered with the 52-20 win at Ball State. So I like them a lot tonight. And yet I didn't use them tonight, which tells you how much more I liked my NBA play on the game between the Mavericks and the Lakers if I didn't come back with Western Michigan. But then let's also acknowledge the fact that I have never been a huge MAC fan, as regular followers certainly are well aware of now. But listen, the bottom line is, when Boise State lost to Wyoming a couple of Saturdays ago, that pretty much put Western Michigan in serious contention for a berth in Cotton Bowl on New Year's Day if it can win out and claim the MAC title, because it's a one-loss Boise State team and a two-loss Houston team that's now vying with the 9-0 Broncos for that position. Western Michigan had been idle before beating Ball State since a 45-31 home win against Eastern Michigan on October 22nd. Obviously, the week off didn't affect them, especially the offense, as they put those 52 points up on the board. They're 5-0 on the road this year. They opened the year with back-to-back road wins against Big Ten teams, Northwestern 22-21, Illinois 34-10. Then they beat up Central Michigan 49-10, Akron 41-0. And then again, they put the 52 points on the board up against Ball State. Last week against Ball State, Corey Davis, one of their outstanding wide receivers, set a single-game MAC record with 272 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Zach Terrell has just had a fantastic year for them and their quarterback, but they're not a one-dimensional team. They can run the ball as well. Jarvian Franklin, 17 carries, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. Golden Flashes, meanwhile, 27-24 win as a 12-point underdog at Central Michigan last week. They had lost their prior home game as a 1-point underdog to Ohio, 14-10. Now, I personally think that Kent is actually going to give Western Michigan all it can handle here tonight. But at the same time, the Broncos are so close to their goal this year, going undefeated in the regular season, winning the MAC title, playing in a New Year's Day game, that I think the PJ Flex team will just be ready to roll here tonight. I do not anticipate them putting up another 55 points on the board here and winning by 30, but I do think it's going to be close, but I do think they will be able to squeak out the cover here somewhere in that 24 to 27 point margin of victory. I do think they are going to get the job done here and maintain that incredible road run, which again has seen them cover 14 of their last 17 on the road. So I'm going to go with Western Michigan as your complimentary play. And that's about it, because there was nothing really elsewhere in the NBA that really appealed to me. And if you think that I was going to handicap hockey tonight, you are sorely mistaken. As far as the other MAC game, Eastern Michigan and Ball State, lean a little toward Eastern Michigan, but listen, it's a pick'em game for a reason. It's a toss-up game. Eastern Michigan, of course, needs a win to become bowl eligible. They blew their shot when they lost at home in their last game to Miami of Ohio. Ball State, well, I just told you what they did against Western Michigan last week. They're not a very good team. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Lean a little toward Eastern Michigan, but of the 2 football games tonight, I do like Western Michigan more. That'll do it, guys. I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time. And remember, right now on the site as well, both my college football and NFL rear view mirror shows. Good luck, everybody.